Hiya BookTube, Bill Ruttenberg here with the Ruttenberg Library. Wanted to continue the bookshelf tours here in the downstairs of the house at the black bookshelves. And right now I'm getting ready to take you through my John Grisham collection. You hear me talk about him a lot. I really like his stuff. I think his stuff is a lot of fun to read. They're very fast, for the most part, very fast paced, and I really enjoy them. So when I take you through, it's going to be more than one shelf, and I'll try to go quick since it's all one author, but it's going to be this shelf and then over here about 4/5 of this shelf. So I've got every book by John Grisham as far as his adult books. I am missing it's 3 or 4, because I can't remember if there's 6 or 7 young adult books that he has written. I've got 3 of them, and I'm missing the rest. And but of the adult books, I have all of them. So I'll take you through the John Grisham collection here. So let's go ahead and get started. And I believe I have them. I think I have them in the order that they were written. I could be off, but I think they're in the order they were written. So his first book he came out with was A Time to Kill, and this is a very sad story. Talks a lot about the racism down in the South, and it gets into a couple of white guys get drunk and rape this the very young black girl, and her dad kind of has revenge and ends up killing them in the courthouse. And so the whole story is Jake Bridget's the lawyer that takes the case. He has to try to figure out a way to keep him out of prison. And so the whole story talks about, just the racism that's there, the undercurrent that's there. And of course, when the trial comes, the KKK gets involved, and then you've got the civil rights activists, and it's a intense story, and it's one that'll make you tear up a little bit if you're a parent. But this is from Winwood Press, Tarrytown, New York, and it is from the year 1989. So, very good story. I loved it. Next one in the Grisham collection is The Firm. And you probably remember, and a bunch of these have been made into movies. This was a Tom Cruise movie. Very good, about a law firm in Memphis who's basically a corrupt law firm, and Tom Cruise's character doesn't realize it until it's too late, and then he's in deep and has to try to figure a way of getting out of it. And anyway, it's from Doubleday. It's from New York, and it was published in, looks like 1991. The next one is the Pelican Brief, and this was also made into a movie. It had Julia Roberts in it, and it's about it takes place down in New Orleans, or a lot of the book is in New Orleans, and talks about a company who is trying to get oil rights down in down in Louisiana, and it's a huge case, and people get killed, and yeah. Anyway, this is from Doubleday out of New York, and it's 1992. And something to know about Grisham, he puts a book out almost every year, if not 2 in a year. So, he has written a lot of books. I think he passed the 40 mark a couple years ago. Anyway, this is The Client, also made into a movie. Good book. There's Grisham as a young guy. This is about a little kid who witnesses a murder, and he's trying not to get killed for it. This is 1993. This book is The Chamber. I like his titles are always nice and simple. Doubleday out of New York, and this is 1994. The Rainmaker. Doubleday out of New York, 1995. Again, like I said, every year. This is Runaway Jury. This one was made into a movie. And let's see. This is from Doubleday, and it is 1996. The Partner. This was a good one. I liked this one a lot. Partner runs away. Yeah, Danilo Silva. Let's see, is he the guy? Is this the one that he went to? Did he run away? Ran away from the law firm, and I want to say he faked his death. And anyway, it was good. It was a good one. One of my favorites. 1997 from wasn't that Doubleday? Yes, Doubleday. This is The Street Lawyer. Another good one. I guess I should quit saying it's another good one, because I like them all. I'm a little biased, I guess. Doubleday, New York, and 1998. 1998. I remember this one. I've told you guys before I was adopted, and my aunt on my mother's side had made contact with us when we were in high school. And of course we were adopted and didn't really know any of them. We knew the name of my aunt, but I didn't really know her at all. And she'd made contact, and we got to go spend Christmas with her and her family up in Erie, Pennsylvania. And I remember this book because it had just came out the year before, and this was our Christmas present to our uncle. And so anyway, that doesn't really, you guys probably don't care, but that's how I kind of like that book, just for that very reason. All right, this one's another one. It's got fond memories for me. This is The Testament by John Grisham. And the reason I remember this one is, and this is Doubleday, New York, 1999. Reason I remember this one is my oldest daughter, when we were in the hospital with her and my wife was going through labor, and of course, as the guy, there's not a lot I can do other than just be there and be supportive. Well, after I got off work, this is the book I grabbed, and I was reading this the night she was born real early in the, what was it, 9 o'clock? And the night before, this is what I was reading before I fell asleep. Guys, don't fall asleep while you're waiting on the baby to come. That's my word of advice for all of you. But anyway, that didn't go over very well. But this is what I was reading when my daughter was born. So it kind of has special meaning to me, and I really enjoyed the book as well. This is The Brethren by John Grisham. And it's a Doubleday, New York, and it's the year 2000. And this is, let's see, yeah, this is where these guys get thrown in, these judges get thrown in jail, and they're doing cases and stuff from jail. And good book. This is another one of my favorites of John Grisham's. It's not a lawyer book. A Painted House, and this takes place, I think it's in the 1950s. Yeah, 1952, and they're in Arkansas, and they're on a cotton farm, and they're poor, and they need the cotton crop to come in, and it starts flooding, and then there's a murder, and there's some, anyway, it's a good one. This is 2001. That was a good one. Here's a smaller one. This is a fun read. I try to read it every Christmas just because it makes me laugh. Skipping Christmas. It was a Tim Allen movie, if you remember. And it's really short, super fast read. Doubleday, New York, and it is from the year 2001. Here's The Summons. And 2002 from Doubleday. King of Torts. Again, that beautiful blue color. I love that. That was in another video I just did. But that beautiful blue color, I love it. And this is from, it's a smaller one. It's from Doubleday. And it is 2003. And this was his first dip into sports. It's called Bleachers, John Grisham. And I did a book review on this. I'll put the link to that down in the description, or I'll try to remember to anyway. This is Doubleday out of New York, 2003. It's about some kids who are a bunch of older guys who come home to the football field because their longtime coach is dying, and they're waiting on him to die, and they're trying to figure out in their minds, did they actually like the coach or not? And so anyway, it's pretty interesting story. Here is The Last Juror. It's a, let's see, yep, another one taking place in Clanton, Mississippi. A lot of his stories take place in Clanton, Mississippi. Doubleday, New York, 2004. Here is The Broker. This is when it was about this time I started buying a lot of his books new. This is one of them. So yeah, so to Bill, hope you have a freaking sweet birthday. Love me, and that would be my wife. So this is 2005. So that would have been when I was 25. I hadn't been married very long. This is The Innocent Man. This was Grisham's Murder and Injustice in a Small Town. This is Grisham's attempt at nonfiction. I know some of you like this. I don't know if I cared for it. Maybe it's something I need to just reread, and I've been reading his fiction for so long. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe it's better than I initially thought. This is a Doubleday, New York, and it is 2006. It just wasn't my favorite. I think maybe just because Grisham is he's a fiction guy for me. All right, another sports one, Playing for Pizza. And this guy's a quarterback, and he has some really bad luck in the NFL and gets cut and ends up going and playing in the European League. It's not even the European League. It's like the European Minor League, and goes to Italy, and very, very fun story. Doubleday, New York, and this was 2007. Next one I do not have a jacket cover for, but it is The Appeal. Might be something I look for, so I get a jacket. Doubleday, New York, 2008. So we're getting closer to the present time. This is The Associate. This is one I think this is the one I picked up recently that completed my hardback, because I had a paperback instead, and this completed the hardback collection. Doubleday, New York, 2009. And then this last one on this particular shelf is a collection of short stories called Ford County, because Ford County, Mississippi is where a lot of his stories take place. So this has got a whole bunch of short stories in it. I enjoyed it. I liked it. Hey, looky there. Okay, don't know if you can see that real well, kind of a glare, but that's my daughter and I, and we are in Colorado. I can't remember the name of the town, Estes Park. So I think that's where that was at. Anyway, Doubleday, New York, and 2009. So she'd have been really young in that picture. All right, so now I'm pulling from over here. I might twist the camera. Hopefully I don't make you dizzy. Let's go ahead and twist it. There we go. Okay, so most of these I've bought new over the last couple years. This is The Confession. And Doubleday, New York. And this is 2010. And I would say that these books are the only ones that I really like seeing the writing on the inside cover, because every once in a while my daughter or my wife will leave me a little note that says happy birthday or happy Father's Day, or whatever it may be. I kind of like that. But anyway, here is The Litigators. And this is 2011. Here's a baseball book, Calico Joe. I also did a book review on this. I'll leave the link to that in the description. Really liked this book. I thought it was a lot of fun to read. Doubleday, New York, and 2012. Real short read. That was an afternoon read at my daughter's speech contests. Here's The Racketeer. Doubleday, New York, 2012. Getting closer. Here is Sycamore Row. I believe this is another book based in Clanton, I think. Better check that before I say that. Yep, based in Clanton. And Jake Bridgens is in it. And it's just a good story. 2013. So a lot of these characters in his books, especially the ones in Clanton, Mississippi, all of the characters all cross over. Sometimes they've got the same district attorney. Sometimes in some of them it's the FBI director's the same, and the lawyers are sometimes the same, and the judges are the same. So you see those across the books, and that's I think kind of fun when you get into the story. So here is Gray Mountain. This is another one I got for, I can't remember his birthday or whatever. Oh, excuse me. Here's a note. October 13th, 2015, my 35th birthday, from my daughter Crimson. Except for she got me the paperback version. And I found the hardback to replace it. But that's when I got this one. And it is from 2000. It was printed in 2014. Rogue Lawyer. Rogue Lawyer. It was interesting. It was more of a, if I remember right, from the first person. So it wasn't my favorite, just because I don't like when he writes in the first person. I don't like it as well. Yeah, this one's in first person. I like his third person much better. Doubleday, New York, 2015. And he actually did an additional ebook chapter that is like a prequel to this to explain some of the stuff that was going on. He's done that with a couple of his books, and I did read it, and it was all right. This is The Whistler. And October 13th, 2016, my 36th birthday, from my wife and daughter. Doubleday, New York, 2016. So I'm a pretty easy guy to buy for when it comes to birthday and Christmas stuff. All right, here's Camino Island. Takes place off the coast of Florida. This guy's a bookstore owner. He deals in stolen books. This is Bill Ruttenberg. Let's see, Father's Day 2017, from my wife and both of my daughters. That would be my youngest daughter's first Father's Day, 2017. Good book. I liked that story. His most recent one ties in with that story. So this is The Rooster Bar. That was good. About a bunch of kids who get in trouble. They're almost done with college, and they get in trouble with their college debt, and they start practicing as lawyers without having a license. Hopefully I'm getting this right. Pretty sure that's what happened. But anyway, good story, fun story. Doubleday, New York, 2017. This one is The Reckoning, and this goes back. This actually goes back to some of the characters in, let's see, A Time to Kill. I think it was some of the same characters. It's back in Clanton, Mississippi. It's the story of Pete Banning, and it was really good. I really enjoyed this, and I think he did an excellent job. There's a part where the main character, Pete Banning, is a World War II vet, and he was in the Philippines with MacArthur on his on the death march in the Philippines. Well, actually, MacArthur had left, but he was in that group, and he does an excellent job describing what that death march was like. And I mean, he did a good job with it. Anyway, this is from 2018. Again, this is a Doubleday book. The Guardians. This is about a group of lawyers who do a lot of pro bono type work, I believe. Let's see. No lawyer, no advocate. Yep. It's not quite pro bono work, but they aren't getting hardly any money out of it. This is for my 39th birthday, October 2019. So, yep, 2019 copyright. And then that brings us to this year's book that just came out that I read almost immediately. I pre-ordered it. And this is Camino Winds. And this goes with the Camino Island book. Same characters through the whole book. And Doubleday in New York, 2020. So the last three on my shelf here are the Theodore Boone series. So it's a little kid versions or YA of John Grisham's lawyer books. And this little guy here is Theodore Boone. His parents are lawyers, and he wants to be a lawyer. And so this is Kid Lawyer. And they were fun. They were a lot of fun to read. They come from Dutton Children's Books, Penguin Group. And this one was 2010. This one is The Abduction, another Theodore Boone. It is 2011. And then the last one for the John Grisham series, this is The Accused, Theodore Boone, The Accused. And again, same kid, same storyline. And this is, again, Dutton Children's Books, and it's 2012. And like I said, there's 3 or 4 more of these kid books. I just haven't found them. I won't pay full price for those. Those are ones I got to find on, marked down somewhere for a couple bucks. But anyway, this has been my John Grisham collection. Pretty proud of it. I like it. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you stayed with me the whole time. And thank you for watching BookTube. Have a great day.